Hey, old school RuneScape fans, it's your friend Ojama Garrett's here with another educational video, kind of just a talk, a discussion about principles in economics that you can apply to old school RuneScape to help you make more money. And actually, I learned these economic principles from RuneScape, so I'm not saying like I'm an economy professor or anything like that, but I just wanted to talk about a term called diminishing returns and how that affects multi-scaping and just like life in general. I have notes. I'm not really gonna cut this up because I have a tight content schedule. I make 5 pieces of content per day, 5 videos on 5 different channels. But yeah, so bear that in mind. Try to bear with me here. I'm gonna do my best to shoot a good video still. Okay, so multi-scaping is where you have multiple accounts on RuneScape, and we're going to talk about diminishing returns to really understand the full scope of a multi-scaping experience. In this video, I'm going to be covering the definition of diminishing returns, examples in RuneScape, and practical implications for players. So, defining diminishing returns. This is where I shrink myself and pull open the paint document. Diminishing returns is I gotta type it out. Yeah, this feels really shitty, but I don't really care anymore. I'm just gonna if you wanna learn, I'm gonna try to teach you. But if you need to be entertained, then this probably isn't gonna be for you. That being said, now I'm gonna let go of caring about the content of the quality. Or the quality of the content, sorry. I got a poo brain because I worked today. But anyway. So diminishing returns. The basic definition of diminishing returns is pretty much as more I gotta shrink the text, that's what I always do. As the what's the word? Input is increased. Essentially, the rate of return is decreased on that input. So, like, you've probably heard about it maybe if you lifted weights, but if you have a graph here, I'm just gonna make a quick little graph. And if you have lifted the weights, you'll have heard of a thing called newbie gains. It's within your first year. You're going to get, so here's your first year. So here's 0, and then 1, and then 2, 3. These are years. 4, 5. And then, here's your gains. I don't know how you're going to measure that, but when you start lifting weights, the amount of weight you can really lift spikes early. In the first, like, for me, I lift a lot. I lift whatever. That's not important, but I lift a lot, and I stopped seeing tremendous gains. This is like a tremendous. So this is called newbie gains. Is referred to as newbie gains, but I saw my most tremendous gains in the first 3 years of lifting, and you're going to get that type of effect everywhere you go. That's the one thing I learned from old school RuneScape. It's the one thing I learned from life. Is everything you do, there's going to be this initial period where you're going to be making a massive amount of increase, and then eventually it'll taper off. And then, like, if we go to 6, 7, 8, it would just stay pretty much the same. And you need to expand it out to like decades before you'd even see a movement in the graph. So that's essentially what diminishing returns are. So this applies to MultiScape how? Okay. Just box that off. So you have a single player. One account. 100% efficiency. You might play, I gotta start typing. You might play at, on your best day, 100%. You can do that for an hour. But then hour 2, you're doing 80%. Hour 3, you're going to do 60%. Hour 4, you're going to be doing 10% or whatever, or whatever. It doesn't have to be like this. I mean, some people get burnt out faster, some people get burnt out slower, so maybe it looks like that. So that's kind of a diminishing return over a long period of time. If you put more inputs in, you're going to get less output over a longer period of time, and you're going to get your most input in the beginning, and you're going to get the least input in the outcome. So then, but MultiScape is going to allow you to go beyond 100%, because this one account has a floor, and then a ceiling for output. Okay. MultiScaping. If you have 2 accounts, you're going to have 2 accounts. One account is going to be 100%, and then the second account, you're going to apply more inputs more quickly, even in your first hour. Your second account's going to have, say, 80%. Then your third account, 70%. And then because you added your third account, now that you have your fourth account, it's going to be like 50%, etc. And then it's hour 1. In hour 2, you're going to have like the same type of fall off. So then, you're going to have like an 85. Second account's going to be like a 70, 50, whatever. These are all examples of terms of efficiency diminishing returns. So this is the amount of accounts. When you put more effort into multiple accounts, you're not going to get 100 plus 100 plus 100 plus 100. You're going to get 100 plus 80 plus 70 plus 50. And why I'm telling you about this, why it's important, is just to set the expectation that if you start playing on multiple accounts, you're not going to go kill green dragons for 350 or whatever. I don't know. I got to stop using examples. I don't know the exact hours or gold per hour. 500K an hour. You're not going to expect that. I used to do this all the time. I used to expect, okay, so if I just get 4 accounts, I could get a $2 million an hour. That's not how it's going to work. But what is important here is that we're seeing a pattern, and the pattern is these equal greater than 100%. If you were to bring it into the context of the first output potential over here. So yes, there's diminishing returns, and it is very real, but we are still doing it because it is more than 100%. And the reason why diminishing returns is to just set an expectation to help you realize what you want to do as a RuneScape player. So do you want to play on 2 accounts? So that you'll probably get somewhere in the 180% efficiency range, right? But if you play on 100 accounts, you're going to get something like, when you first start 2, because this is like, if you jump from 2 to 100, you're going to get like, well, let's say realistically, there's a very few activities you can do with 100 accounts. Let's say 20. Even if you played those 20 accounts to get to 100%, you only need to have 5% efficiency. So that's to equal 100. So in the scope of diminishing returns, oh no, this should probably be for a video of scale. Okay, so I'll just that's coming later then. That'll be scale, economy of scale. But yeah, so all right, so that was kind of the gist of it. I'm gonna cut out a little bit of the fluff, but that was kind of at the end there. But the point of this video was to try to just go over what diminishing returns are, and then what they're gonna do to your RuneScape adventure, and then like okay, that's all. Like diminishing returns. The more inputs you put in, the rate of return is going to be decreased on that input. And then it's true in every different way that you can think about it. You can think about it in terms of one account over a long period of time. If this is time that is going to increase your inputs but decrease the rate of return. So like when you see a money making guide, even a one account, you're not going to get that $2 million per hour of Zolra every hour. You're gonna see a decreased rate of return over a longer period of time that day. And then also another thing you can think about is like single player optimizations. So there's like 2-tick, like that 2-tick stuff. is going to be a lot less of a return, like in terms of XP and gold and just longevity and sustainability over a long period of time versus you just getting on RuneScape every single day. Like a lot of the strategy for RuneScape, and this will probably be a video too, is going to be consistency, scale. There's going to be all these other different economic principles. And I think I'm just going to sit here and make quick little videos and talk about them all just to get like a base of education for old school RuneScape. Maybe this is like, I've been just thinking about this as like a classroom story, whatever. I'm sorry. This is kind of like the laziest format I've made so far. And I do understand, but I'm just trying to teach. I'm not trying to make a flashy video. I'm not trying to seduce a viewer, get them like worry about my retention or anything like that. I'm really just trying to make a video that I feel will help. And if it's trash, let me know. If I get some actual real feedback and I can apply it to my little structure here, I'll do it. And no one's immune to criticism, so I'd appreciate that. And if you, I just hope you get something out of this. And if you want to subscribe, go ahead and subscribe. I'm gonna just keep pumping educational content out about old school RuneScape, and because I love this game, I've played for 2 decades. And if you're not into that, whatever. I hope you just got something useful out of this, and I just hope you have a good day. So I'll catch you on the next one.